What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Totski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we are going to go ahead and have a look at the brand new Super Evolution that's going to be arriving on One Piece Treasure Cruise. We did make a little bit of a prediction video in terms of what we might expect for this character, but we now have the data download in-game, so we're going to go ahead and have a look at what this character is going to be evolving into. So it's going to be interesting to see how things go, because this character, he was just kind of mid on release. He has some unique abilities though. We did make a video kind of, discussing his abilities in general. The big thing to note though is that he was focused on boosting strength, dex, and quick units, and if you have all three of them on the crew, that's when you get the bonuses of the HP boost. You get attack boost or a bigger attack boost with matching slots, and then he does make certain slots matching. Now, in terms of today's standards, this captain ability is severely outdated. Special ability was actually redeeming though, because it does remove 3 turns of barrier, which is a very uncommon effect in a special ability. He granted a conditional boost, he granted an attack boost, and he self-procced that conditional boost as well, reducing the enemy's defense to 0. Again though, in terms of today's standards, it just doesn't do enough. So let's go ahead and have a look and see what they're going to give him with his Super Evolution. And he is going to be super evolving, of course, into the Fleet Admiral SAKAZUKI this time around. Anything interesting from his little blurb there? I don't think there's really much at all. But interesting artwork though. I literally don't know what this artwork is from, but it looks really, really neat either way. So SAKAZUKI is still maintaining strength, fighter, and shooter, but they decided to give him a super type. Now, I do not know what goes on down in Bandai headquarters when they decide with Super Evolution in regards to like which ones get super types and super classes and which ones don't, because some characters definitely, honestly, if they don't have a super type or a super class before the Super Evolution, they should get one when they super evolve. It's just a free effects that they should give to these units. I just don't get why they don't do it. Either way, SAKAZUKI though, he does get a super type, which we'll have a look at his abilities in just a moment. Special ability. Now, one thing I should probably note as well is that he does get level limit break. So the effects that you see here are going to be like the maximum possible abilities that you can get, okay? So let's go ahead and have a look. So his captain effect, it will go ahead and reduce ship and cooldown for the whole crew by 2 turns at the start of the quest. I actually kind of like that. That's pretty dope. Boost HP by 1.5. Boost their attack by 5.25 and makes sight int recovery in tandem beneficial. Already seems pretty solid. When taking damage from the enemy, applies ignited status to all enemies, ignoring immunity to status effects for 3 turns. That is also very, very good. And the ignite status is 100 times the enemy's attack. That's really good. If every type is on the crew, we're going back to this, are we? If every type is on the crew, boost the crew's attack by approximately 5.5. Boost this own character's attack by 6 times, and tapping on this character with a strength slot will reduce all enemies' damage nullification duration by 1 turn. That is incredibly unique. This is giving, hardcore vibes of, like Super Tandem Sengoku when he first came out. That whole batch was revolved around having one of every color on the team to get like the maximum possible benefits, and this is kind of in the same vein as that. He is technically a rainbow captain. He's straight up a rainbow captain, and if you have one of every color on the team, you get the benefits of higher multipliers, and you can remove nullification by tapping on a strength slot with this guy. A little bit unique. Don't know if it's going to be that good moving forward, especially because like it doesn't have like any hardcore utility, I would say. Like it doesn't remove a bunch of debuffs by X amount of turns, but it does have the effect of if you get dealt damage, then you can immediately inflict ignite through immunity to status effects, which is powerful. And I assume that his special ability, which would be a defense down conditional boost, is probably going to be changed to be an ignited conditional boost, which makes a lot more sense, right? So that's fine. If you further use him as a captain, you get access to his super type. And in order to use it, you need one of the following: Sengoku, Kuzan, Borsalino, Isho, Garp, and Aramaki. And the super type effect increases all enemies' damage taken by 2x for 1 turn. Pretty solid. Changes his own slot, including block, into strength, and can choose to completely remove captain swapping effects. And that was another thing that the Super Tandem Sengoku team was renowned for doing. They had the rare recruits, which would have the effect to be able to start as crewmates, switch into the captain position, activate their super type to grant some type of beneficial effect, and then become the crewmate again. And this looks to be doing the exact same type of thing. So that's interesting. I don't know if it doesn't seem like god tier or anything. It's just unique and very, very bizarre that they decided to go down this route for this guy. Okay, let's move on and have a look at his special. So remember, this is at level limit break 5, so this is the best you can possibly get. It removes enemy barriers by 3, so that is unchanged. Reduces despair duration by 6 turns, which is new. He deals 2 times damage dealt by normal attacks by this character this turn in non-type damage to all enemies at the end of the turn for 1 turn. So what this means is that you use the special, and then however much damage SAKAZUKI does with his normal attack, that damage is dealt 2x to all enemies at the end of the turn. So it means that if SAKAZUKI himself does like 1,000,000 damage with his tap, then he does 2,000,000 damage to all enemies at the end of the turn. So this allows you to get around resilience, which is kind of neat. He also sets enemies' defense to 0 for 1 turn. If every type is on the crew, boost crew's attack by 2.75 for 3 turns. That's really strong, actually. A 2.75 rainbow attack boost. You need to have one of every color, though. And then also boost damage dealt to enemies inflicted with ignited and defense down by 2.5 for 1 turn. Can choose to swap character out for the captain position also for 1 turn, if not already the captain. And applies an ignited status to all enemies, ignoring immunity to all status effects or immunity excluding certain status effects for 1 turn. So there's a lot of conditional stuff going on, right? So it says, if you have every color on the crew, you get the 3-turn attack boost. You also get the conditional boost, a 2.5 conditional boost. You can switch him to the captain position, and you inflict ignite through status effects. So all of these things combine into one special ability if you have, you know, one of every color on the crew. I assume there's going to be like, if you don't do that, you get another type of effect. I hope that is the case. Let's see here. So deals 100 times enemy. Boost, yeah, here it is here. Boost crew's attack by 2.75 for 1 turn, and then boost damage dealt, yeah, to ignited and defense down enemies by 2.25 for 1 turn otherwise. Okay, so that is a big deal. So you get a massive bonus if you have one of every color on the crew for 3-turn attack boost, and you also get the ignite inflicted immediately through status effects if you use that, you know, if you have one of every color on the crew. If you don't have one of every type on the crew, it means you have to rely on taking damage for his captain ability to activate to then inflict the ignite on the enemy through status effects. Otherwise, his special ability doesn't do it. It does set enemies' defense to 0 though, so if they are allowed to have their defense reduced, then this can be used and you can still get the conditional boost that way. But it is just a unique way to look at it. He doesn't really do that much different realistically with his special. It does still remove the barrier, it does still give you an attack boost, and it still gives you a conditional boost. That's all relatively the same. But they did add the ability of despair removal, and they did add the ability to do end of turn damage based on damage dealt from SAKAZUKI's normal attacks. That's basically all they've done. So yeah, it's just a different way to play the unit. I don't know what they plan on making this unit for. Like, I feel like there has to be some reason they made the character focused on having one of every type. So are they going back and potentially like a whole Marineford celebration or an Admiral celebration where they want you to use one of every type again? Are they going to go back and give support to that Super TND Sengoku batch? There's so many different questions. Why are they doing this way? Is next month going to be Kuzan 6+? Who knows, right? There's just so many different questions. The support effect for this guy, it just stays the same, so no real surprise there. We do need to have a look at his Rumble stuff. This guy debuted on Global on Pirate Rumble's release, so let's go ahead and have a look and see what he actually does. So in Pirate Rumble, he gives Strength, Dex, and Quick teammates, 7 attack, 7 speed, and for the first 50 seconds of the battle, he gives himself level 6 attack, and then when there is 40 seconds or less, all enemies get level 6 defense down. So we talked about this in my preparation video or in my prediction video, that characters that have defense reduction in their inbuilt Rumble ability, incredibly strong. It just adds so much additional damage to the rest of your crew, makes the enemies more squishy and easier to deal with. So having a passive 6 defense down is strong, albeit it is only for the final 40 seconds of a game, so do keep that in mind. Now the special ability needed a very, very big buff, so I'm hoping for big things here. He targets 2 enemies with high recovery for level 7 defense down, and then 5.4 times damage, and then targets enemies in a large range for damage over time level 2. It's so funny that they left damage over time with a little bit of a spelling error there. So beforehand, he would only do damage to 1 high recovery target, and it would be only a 5 times damage. I don't remember if he inflicted defense down to them as well. So I still don't think this is really that good. Like, He is a shooter character technically, so you could technically still build a relatively decent shooter team, I suppose, with him. This could be the big damage dealer that shooters have kind of needed, but I don't know if he's going to be that guy, you know? 33 CT is pretty high, and he does only target high recovery enemies, which might not actually be that good. It would have been better if he targeted like high defense enemies, inflict a bunch of defense down to them, and then does damage to them. That would have been pretty neat, but that's just kind of like not what he does, so I'm not too sure how good this is going to be. He does have action bind removal, and he does do 40% damage reduction from Dex and deals an additional 40% damage towards Dex. There aren't that many characters that have a resistance that adds damage, but an additional 40% is no joke. That could actually be kind of massive, using this on a strength team to take on opposing Dex teams, but strength already currently don't have that many issues taking on Dex teams anyway, so I don't know, this feels like a mixed bag. I just don't know what they were kind of thinking with this guy. Honestly, I'm not really that excited about this unit. I just kind of wish that they gave him a little bit more, something to kind of push him over the edge, because building one of every type is one of the most frustrating things to do in the game. Not really a big fan of stuff like that, so that's what really holds it back for me, unless if they plan on releasing like a batch or more support for this guy in the future. As it stands right now, he's just kind of fine, and I don't think I'll end up using him all that much, but hey, it's a brand new 6+, everyone gets him for free by playing the most recent Rumble season, so make sure to go ahead and get your copies, get your Super Evolution Skulls on the upcoming Kizuna, and that's just kind of how it goes. So let me know your thoughts and opinions about SAKAZUKI 6+ down below in the comment section. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.